Hey everybody, it's Julie. Thanks for joining me today for a special Bible journaling process video. Today I'm collaborating with Hillary over at Creative Faith and Company. If you're coming from her channel, I'd like to welcome you so much to this channel, and I hope you stay. She approached me about collaborating on this video, so we agreed that we would send some products to each other, and these are just some of the products that she sent to me. Some really fun, beautiful things that I'll be using in my project, and I sent some products to her that she'll be using in her project. And so I've linked both her channel and the video of what she did to complete her project. These are the products that I sent to her, and this is the finished product. Our theme was, "O Come All Ye Faithful," and we both journaled in our hymnals. As I'm talking, I just want to apologize for my raspy voice. It's been in and out, so just bear with me if you will, please. One thing I struggled with was the variety of products that Hillary sent me. I just wasn't sure how to combine them into a cohesive feel. So what I decided to do was do some mixed media and make kind of a background page that I could use to cut out the letters. So what I began with was just a couple of colors of acrylic paint, and I used my scraping technique and swatched some colors. And then I used the stamp set that she gave me, just a couple of the different images, and I stamped those on. You can see the kind of the holly leaves and the holly berries. I used green and red. I used the blue and the red swatches. Now I'm coming in with some gold because I really want to bring in that gold, that metallic element that was on some of the products that she sent to me. And I'm going to come back in now with some of this navy blue, this Creative Retreat chalk ink. So I'm using a variety of different types, a dye-based ink, a metallic pigment ink, and then a chalk ink. And a lot of this is part of the process of journaling. It's the feel that you get as you're doing it and what it represents. And to me, it's, "O come all ye faithful." And this is all the styles, all the different types of products that I'm using, and how they're all coming together to bring worship to the Lord. And that's what this hymn is about, this carol. So now I'm adding some of the washi tape strips. I'm just tearing little pieces. I'm adding some of these little stickers, the snow globe stickers, and some of the star stickers. And then this beautiful piece that says, "O come, let us adore him." I wanted this to be kind of a central piece, but I tore off the edges, and now I'm using those as little paper strips to add to this mixed media page. And I'm just gluing those on. And now I'm going to add some of these gold tone, gold foil-like word fetty. And the words I'm picking are significant. They go along with the theme of "O come all ye faithful." Things like "seek his face," "give me Jesus," just words like that. Now, in order to bring it all together, because this is just kind of a hodgepodge, a mishmash, I am going over it with white acrylic paint and just toning it all down and kind of blending it all together. That's what the white acrylic paint tends to do, but it doesn't cover anything because I'm using just a very thin layer. And that's also what I'm doing here on the hymnal page. I'm using a very old hymnal, so these pages are quite yellowed. So I'm going over it with some of the white acrylic it actually gives a little bit of strength to the page, but it also just tones down that yellowness, and it'll make it match some of the products and elements that I'm going to use. I sponged the edges with my dark blue ink pad, just with a sponge. Now I'm taking my mixed media page and I cut out some just fussy cut letters. This is all the rage over in the Bible journaling community right now, and I thought I would do it too. I just fussy cut some letters, and now I'm outlining them. I'm doing a very easy double lined outline on the inside. It just gives it kind of a stitched look. I'm being very unprecise, or I guess imprecise is the right word, imprecise about it. So I cut out the 4 letters, C-O-M-E, come. And now I am cutting out a couple of these larger focal elements from this sticker sheet before I took them off the sticker part, so I could just play around and see where they would fit and where they might go. I'm just fussing around, see where I might want to put them. And I decided I'm going to actually probably make this a 2-page spread. And I tore off a part of that mixed media page, and then I stuck the manger part down at the bottom, the manger scene, that's what it is. And my camera was just sliding down on its holder the whole time, so I'm sorry about cutting off the very bottom. I will fix that in a little bit. You'll see me adjust that. Now I decided that I would also just use some of the acrylic white over here on the second page, since I'm going to be making it a 2-page spread. I'm going to add a couple of other little things like the sticker Holy on this manger scene, because this is going to end up being my focal point for the whole spread. I'm going to make a hinge because this is going to be a tip-in. Now I folded back some washi tape and put it on the side, and then I pushed that down in the gutter. Now the problem is it was pulling my page up because it's so heavy, this cardstock. So I'm going to fix that in just a little bit, and I'll show you my tip and what I decided to do, a little bit of engineering. I'm adhering my word come over on the left-hand side. The good thing about hymnal journaling is that you can cover up a lot of it. It's not like you're covering up the words of a Bible, although that doesn't really bother me even in the Bible because it's not my study Bible. It's all about the art process. But for some people, I know it does bother them. So I am just doing some sponging along the edges of the page and also this tip-in element. And I'm going to put this "O come, let us adore him" on the back of this tip-in, so that when you open up the tip-in, that is right there. It's like a reveal. And now I'm doing a little bit of engineering here, to paper engineering. I'm going to make a clasp over on this side to hold that tip-in down, because otherwise it just keeps wanting to open. Now this is a punch. It's a half circle, and it just, if you do both sides of the paper like I just did, they fit together precisely, and it will hold it closed, but you can still open it up. So you'll see how that works. You just put them together. I will try to find a link for this. I've had this punch for ages, but I'll try to find a link for something that is still available. This was an old Stampin' Up! One. So I glued that down, and I'm putting some washi tape just to make it all look uniform and consistent. And you see, it's just really cool how that works. You fold that, you latch it, and then it opens back up. Now this piece, "O come, let us adore him," I'm putting a little bit of backing using my mixed media page. And then this is going to be a tab that's going to stick out of the top. So I'm only putting my adhesive down at the bottom, and I stick that up there. Now I'm going to write in over to the side underneath "come, adore." Come adore, because that's what this hymn is about, adoring Jesus, adoring baby Jesus, but also daily we need to adore him, just love him and come to him as we are and love him and just give ourselves to him, seek him. When we come to him, we're seeking his face, we're seeking everything about him. I'm using this Neocolor, and I'm adding a couple of elements here, just some little stars. Now I could have done so much more with this Neocolor. I actually could have done my stamping with it by just coloring directly onto the stamp, but I forgot about that I could have done it. And now I'm just adding some kind of watercolor effect. You color it onto this cellophane packing, and then I just squirted it with water and it blends it. And then it's kind of the smush technique, and I give some watercolor backing to this page. And I just think that's a beautiful effect. Gives it just a very subtle background wash of color. Now I did cheat some on this project. I think Hillary was a little bit truer. She only used the products I sent her. I did pull out a washi tape from my stash that had a little bit of gold to bring that in. And I also used my inks and the acrylics. Now this embroidery thread, I cut a piece, and then it's actually like 5 or 6 pieces all together. So I separated them, and I'm going to use this just to add some texture. So I cut out a tab also from my mixed media page over there. And I'm finding one of the word fetties that I put up there, and it says "draw near." And I'm adding a couple more of these little stickers just around the page. These are tiny little stars that go along with the night theme. I really like this blue. I'm kind of keeping blue as the main color for the whole page. I'm adhering my tab up there. Now, what I'm going to do with that thread, this is actually inspired by one of Lindsay Decor's recent videos, and I'll link that. And I'm going to adhere a couple of elements on top of that, and so I'm backing them off of the mixed media page as well, and it says Christ always. So if the whole flow here says, come adore Christ always. Oh, come let us adore him. So I'm adding some sponging, and I'm going to pull out some dimensionals. These are just foam tape. It's double-sided, and then I'm going to pull that off, but I'm spreading out the thread just a little bit. And when I take off the backing to that dimensional, to that foam tape, and then adhere that down, it also makes the thread stay. And it adds some texture and some visual interest to the page. I do some off-screen journaling here, and I talk about how I want to draw near to the Lord, to worship him, to always adore him with all my heart, and to be faithful and joyful. I'm adding some metallic gold splatter paint, and I just stamp that onto my acrylic block and then wet it with a brush, and then I could just splatter that across the page. That adds kind of a finishing touch. And then what is left on my block, I just scrape that along the page, gives it a little bit of a different texture look. So here are a couple of close-ups of the project. And on the back of this tip-in, I just include a prayer that I wrote out for Hillary and her ministry, and thanks for the collaboration. This hymn was actually a collaboration of 2 authors as well. I pray that this video inspired you. Give it a thumbs up if it did, and leave any questions or comments you have in the comments section. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and please visit Hillary's channel, watch her video, and do the same for her. Until next time, God bless. Bye-bye.